This is the North Georgia Life Podcast. Embrace life where you live. Welcome to the North Georgia Life Podcast. Today's episode is just a short conversation with me, myself, and I. And this is really about asking questions and thinking. That's all this episode is. It's a little break from our normal episodes. It is just maybe just a little grounding point for where we find ourselves in our current culture, in the calendar year we're in, coming up on a contentious election again, and still surrounded by people we call our neighbors in a community that we call home. You know how to find us online, Facebook, Instagram, North Georgia Life Podcast at gmail.com. If you want to email us future episodes, if you missed it, we are on Amazon, Audible, several other podcast platforms now. You can listen to us there. With that, we'll get started. Welcome to the North Georgia Life Podcast. Is Jake, your host. Today's episode is really just a let's push pause on 2020. It has been a banner year for almost nothing and no one, so we can commiserate to some degree together, but I just wanted to say a few things in relative to where we're at and, frankly, the tension that so many people are feeling, and especially if you're in that population of constant anxiety because of what is being reported, what is being communicated, social media. I mean, all these different features of life around us right now. I just want to hit pause and bring up a few things to just help you maybe think differently and hopefully better going forward, which will improve your life and hopefully give you a better outlook on where we're at in life in general. Okay? So when I say the word RAS, or letters RAS, some of you know what that means, some of you don't. It stands for the reticular activating system in your brain. Now, a lot of us know, we've heard at some point in the past that your brain only uses, you only use 10% of your brain. Okay, well, partially true. So without going into, and I've listened to books, I've heard interviews from, neuroscientists and people who deal with the brain quite extensively and have gotten pretty familiar with this, actually, in part of what I do in real estate and helping new agents get started in their business. I talk about this specifically related to having a vision board or having your goals written down in life. Because what your brain subconsciously wants to do, and why I bring up RAS, is your brain wants to find that which you are feeding it. Okay? So this is why when you are shopping for a new car and you start kind of paring down the models and, maybe the colors and the years that you're looking for, what happens, right? You start seeing that car everywhere, okay? It's not because it's just now popping up and you've got people surrounding you. They've always been there, but now your brain has identified, I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find this. And what does it do? It starts finding it for you. You don't even realize it's happening, but all of us are like that, okay? Cars is a simple example, but can I promise you this? If you think there is more injustice than justice, if you think there is more evil than good, if you think there is more poverty than prosperity, whatever you believe to be true, your brain, in the same fashion, is going to work behind the scenes to find examples that validate that. Okay? I choose to believe there is far more good. There are far more smiles than frowns from strangers in life. You know what I see on a regular basis wherever I'm at? Yep, I see more people smiling. There may be people frowning. Frankly, I don't care. But when you start to tell your brain that this is what I believe to be true, this is what I'm looking for, your brain starts to work without you even knowing that it's working to help you find and validate that. It's the same. Look, if you want to kind of weird yourself out a little bit here, I can guarantee you, all of us, you bathe the same exact way every single day. Okay? When you look, just monitor it for like a week. You get into the shower, you use the same arm to open and close the shower door. Use the same arm to turn the water on. You use the same arm to get the shampoo, the soap. You wash the same parts of your body in the same exact order every single day. You don't even realize you're doing it. It's the same reason that you can drive to work and not have a clue how you got there when you pull in the parking lot. Like, we've all done that. Why? Because your brain wants to make it easy on you. To get what you want, to get where you need to be, once you've programmed your brain into a form of cruise control or autopilot, your brain just kind of takes over of this is what we're doing. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're going to find. Whether that's good or bad, that's the reality of how our brains work in a simplistic means. Hey, we've all had days where you come home and you're absolutely mentally exhausted. I can guarantee you one thing about those days. You had the most new information to sift through, sort out, problem solve, et cetera, with on those days. That's why you feel exhausted, because your brain got out of autopilot cruise control mode and was actually having to try and actively solve problems that were new, that were requiring different energy. Your brain wants to make life easy for you to get what you are thinking about or what you believe to be true. And by the way, spoiler alert, if that's what you think to be true, that's what you search for on social media or the news, well, guess what? All those robots that are tracking you already know about you. This is what you like. This is what you gravitate towards. So what do you see? You see more and more and more and more of that. And it all starts with basically your thought process and your belief system internally. Okay? So it's not to get into philosophy or anything like that, but that is the reality of how our brains work. Just be conscious of that. If you want to start reprogramming your brain and your life to end up in a better place, can I offer you one simple suggestion? Start to write down goals that you have for your life that you want to achieve. Things that will make your life fulfilling. They will bring you enjoyment, happiness, position your family for a better life for themselves, and watch what happens over the months and years that follow. Just watch. Write it down. Specific things, not like I want to get in shape. I don't even know, what does that mean? It means completely different things to different people. Write it down, okay? I want to work out for an hour a day, 5 days a week. And I want to work out from 6 to 7 a.m., whatever it is. Make it specific and watch what your brain starts to do. I'm telling you, it is a little creepy, but it's also amazing that your brain wants to help you get that which you are telling it you want in life. So, good or bad. For your own future and your own betterment in life, start writing down some goals to get you and propel you to the life that actually makes life better for you. And when I tell agents in my office, there's no wrong answer. If you want a brand new Mercedes, write it down. Cut a picture out. Know the trim level you want. Know the color you want. Get that stuff, because that energizes you. It puts your brain in a more positive state. And when you're thinking and functioning and working towards something positive, you will find it is harder to fixate on the negativity around you, and you will actually start to drift away from those sources and those people who are constantly just sending a barrage of negativity, which will also de facto make your life more positive and better. So that's the whole goal of the podcast, to help you embrace life right where you live, even if it's sometimes in your own head. We got some phenomenal episodes coming up in this fall. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. This is the North Georgia Life Podcast. Embrace life where you live.